And I'm confident that if they were to win the election, and that is an if, given that Rosie sat there looking at me, a majority of councils and business organisations will vote for us to stay. And if you think I'm biased, I was at an event in Leeds with 60 business leaders last week, and the presenter asked the audience whether they thought Yorkshire Forward should be retained. There was a unanimous yes. Why do you think that was? Because there was a time when you wouldn't have got all those hands going up. I'm certain a lot of it is to do with our response to the recession. They can see that we're making a huge difference. And just think for a minute about what wouldn't be here if we didn't exist. The Train to Gain Enhancement Fund, helping thousands of people retrain in the recession. The award-winning regeneration of Sheffield City Centre. Largest investor? Not the council, Yorkshire Forward. Screen Yorkshire, with its successes like the Damned United, Red Ridings, and now Bradford, the UNESCO City of Film. Wakefield Waterfront and the Castleford Bridge, more awards. Charity Bank, Guardian Glass, Toyota Gosai, and this year another 80 foreign businesses in our best ever year for inward investment in the middle of a recession. The award-winning Dolby Forest and Barton Waterside visitor centres. The multi-award-winning, are you seeing a pattern here? Advanced Manufacturing Park, bringing Boeing and Rolls-Royce to the symbolic site of the Battle of Orgreave that took place 25 years yesterday. The hugely successful annual enterprise shows and the Growing Roots project helping hundreds of young farmers set up businesses. The Bollywood Oscars, Richmond Station, the Yorkshire Six, not a miscarriage of justice, but our award-winning train project. 500 local people with jobs at St Stephen's in Hull, more awards. 1,700 business supported by venture capital investment that wouldn't have ventured outside the M25. Royd's, the Open Madrasa project in Bradford, that will win awards. The Round Foundry and Marshall Mills in Holbeck. I could go on. And remember, it's not just our money that have made these things happen. It's you. Your skills, your experience, your persistence are the real added value. Just think, if it wasn't you, but others who'd been taking decisions about these projects. Think about those examples. How many times we could have so easily walked away and said no. Would Whitehall have put the AMP in South Yorkshire? Would it have responded overnight when the floods hit Sheffield? Would it have stuck to the same core strategy for 10 years? The facts show that national agencies get drawn to this magnet that's London. 90% of the time and effort goes there. Yesterday, Tracy Gregg ran a job fair with a bit of help in Halifax. 1,400 people turned up. 1,400. Hugely successful. 2 national skills agencies didn't even turn up. That's why this region needs Yorkshire Forward. Now some people would say, well that's all right, we don't have a national solution, why don't we go for local council control? Well, would local councils have quadrupled enterprise and innovation resources? Would they have paid to bring the best architects, businesses and events in the world to Yorkshire and Humber? Could they have led a commercial and non-political response to Lloyds and ITV that's averting potential economic disaster? No, they couldn't. And that's why this region needs Yorkshire Forward. We connect the local and the national, joining up the Whitehall silos and working across local boundaries. And we also fill that crucial gap between the public and the private sectors. And we are this public-private partnership, so let's think differently again. Could a purely public agency understand business and move quickly if we didn't have you lot who've got private sector skills and we didn't have people like Jazz and Chris who've been on our board? Equally, wouldn't a pure business just chase profit and leave the difficult stuff in Hull and Bradford to others. That's why we're here. That's why we've got the cocktail of skills we've got, and that's why we're the envy of many organisations. And that's why this region needs Yorkshire Forward. We understand the public, private and third sectors, and we can unite them to be more than the sum of the parts. And our projects are not just the visible sign of what we've achieved. Don't underestimate the way that we've changed, that you've changed the culture of this region. I can tell you, because I was here, that 10 years ago, if we just had to swallow a halving of European funds, there would have been uproar. Today, we just get on with it. We manage it through geographic programmes. 10 years ago, the Leeds-Sheffield spat about the arena wouldn't have been the exception, it would have been the rule. Today, collaboration is the default mode of this region. Team Yorkshire and Humber is a reality. And above all, never forget that 15 years ago, this region was reeling from 2 brutal recessions. The effect on people and communities was devastating, many of whom you probably know. The North was written off as an economic basket case, and I think we got an inferiority complex. I certainly had one when I first went down to Oxford and heard all these amazingly confident people. Me and my mate were planning which job we'd do when they eventually found us out. But gradually, you realise that if you work hard, then you can be as good as the others, the show-offs. Yorkshire and Humber might not have the stellar growth of London, but we've now got an economy where you can stay, you can have a great career and a fantastic quality of life. And as Bob Kerslake said when he left Sheffield last year, what we've done, Yorkshire Forward, councils, businesses and government working together in unison, what we've done is give Yorkshire and Humber its pride back. Because this recession is worse than the 80s or the 90s. It won't beat us though. Our economy's not collapsing. And yes, it hurts. Yes, we're knackered. I realise that. How hard you were all working. But it will never take away what we've built. Our visible renaissance and our invisible and indivisible resilience and passion. You don't have to be born here to feel that commitment. You don't have to wear that emotion on your sleeve to be part of it. At Yorkshire Forward, we all know we have to be the best because this region needs us to be. It needs us in a way that a Southern RDA, I'm sorry, could never match. It needs us to go the extra mile in the same way that the passionless and game-playing Whitehall can't compute. And it needs us to deliver this year more than any other. And that's why today, the 19th of June, the happiest day of the year by research, is the most exciting time to be at Yorkshire Forward.